I didn't need any support resistance lines. I didn't need any supply or demand boxes. I didn't need any of that. I'm just using structure to help me when price enters a particular zone. If you didn't know anything but this could change your life in a year. If you didn't know anything else but this could change your life in a year. All right, good evening. Tonight we're going to be talking about structure. Normally, we talk about structure as a page trying to recognize it. So we're going to go a step above that tonight. And what we're going to do is talk about structure as structure being a partner for us in trading. Talking about structure being a partner for us in trading. So let's take a look at the chart here. And how do we do that? So one of the things that we need to understand is structure all comes about by money, the lack of, or the enormous amount of money, the lack of, or the enormous amount of money, or a large amount of money being present. So, case support here, current price here, right? We see this supply box. So, there is a concentrated area of selling here. This line of resistance is a concentrated area of selling. So what it is trying to do is impede price from moving up because I have selling here. It is not promoting an upper movement, right? So what are some elements of structure? Well, the supply box, this demand box, this line of resistance, right? Consolidation, this line of support, price rejection areas, okay? And we know that when we see an element of price rejection, it could be because of the fact that there is a concentrated effort in this case of selling to push price backward, but it also could be profit taking as well. So when the money leaves the market, right, you see a void, and that void will come as a effort or as a mark of price rejection. So if I have a concentrated area said of selling or a concentrated area of buying, those areas could be, when we talk about supply and demand boxes, those areas could be anything from pending orders. It could be interest rate information. It could be a lot of things in that area in order to either promote the upward movement or promote the downward movement or vice versa. Okay. So, how do we use structure in our case to help us when it comes to, all right, so how are you going to be my partner? How are you going to help me? Well, I can be helped by looking at past price. Price is telling me that, hey, if price re-enters this area, this line of structure, that means that price could have a problem with passing through that area because it was a significant area of price rejection. And also, there was a great deal of money in that particular area. Now, also, too, here, if price comes here, price does one thing more than it does anything, and that's repeat itself. Price repeats itself over and over and over again. It doesn't matter what instrument you're trading, but it does it. Repeats itself over and over and over again. Taking points here. This line here, consolidation. We could call this a retest here. Price just comes here and bangs against this line of structure until finally there is enough structure or enough money to break through structure, but not enough to carry it, because here's another line of structure where price comes here and then rejects and comes back. And then here's another line here of structure here and another line here of structure. And we notice that that structure there is probably motivated by some sort of price or structure using money to send price the other way. If we put fractals here, we would have fractals lined up all around here. Here's an example. Let's see. Let's get some fractals. Fractals, fractals, fractals.
You passed it there.
There it is, right there. So, see here? So, fractals are just marking an area of price reversal. You see them here, you see them here. I call it the jaws of death because these things look like teeth and it's just grinding price up, right? Until you have a breakthrough like this. And then here, price reversal here, price reversal here, all done because of the fact that, hey, price has left the market in this particular period, and then you have a price rejection here. And you can see here in this short period where price, right, is defining this as a significant line of structure because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 periods where price comes to this line and rejects, hence the fractals, right? I think, I don't like a lot of indicators on my chart. But I think if you're going to have extra help identifying structure, you can put these uh, these indicators or these elements of price reversal called fractals, and it identifies very clearly here very clearly areas of structure. All right. So let's remove those. Okay. So we looked at this on Friday night on Market Review, and we drew this cone, and we said that there was a probability that price could continue in this upper movement, and it did. However, price can also itself, again, tell us about volume. Now, we don't want to get into the volume aspect because we want to keep this discussion on structure, but we have where volume has decreased here based on the candle. Now, this candle is only 19 minutes old, but it also helps us by looking at past price. So price has come out here and pulled back, and we can see that price right now is respecting this line of structure at this 4-hour resistance line, right? Because we can see here's current price here. Here's the opening day or opening market on Sunday. This candle here, and then we have the new candle here at 8 o'clock that popped up, and it's also having an issue with structure because of this supply box right here and also this resistance line. So if we're not in the trade yet and we're trying to figure out how do I get in? Well, number one, structure is helping you if you're paying attention. Structure is helping you if you're paying attention. And the reason why I'm saying that is because right here is telling a story for you. It is giving you direction. It is saying that, hey, there's no entry here, primarily because of two things. Number one, I have this concentrated area of selling. And number two, there is no volume here at the moment. So, and then I look above this supply box, and then I have another area of structure in the resistance line, another concentrated area of selling. So if I'm looking to get in, I know that volume has to increase in order for me, or for price rather, to break through this area of structure. Now, if price comes out on the other side of this trend line, then we know that not only do we have volume here, right? If all of a sudden volume comes up here, not only do we have volume here, but we have what here? This is called what? This is called what? If all of a sudden I have volume here and it breaks through these lines of structure here and pops up on the other side of this trend line and this top resistance line here, I probably have what kind of move at that point?
A breakout?
Well, you got a breakout, there's a name for that move. If all of a sudden I have volume here and it does break through here, but there's a word that I would rather you use than just breakout.
I want to say momentum, but let's see.
This would be
The impulse.
impulse move. I would have, if I had an extreme level all of a sudden of money that breaks through here and comes out on this other side, and not only comes out on the other side, but rings this alert, alerting us that price has arrived here. Now I have a place to where, okay, I'm free of structure. Volume has cleared me. I am free of structure. Volume has cleared me. And now I could possibly, if everything, we check all the boxes to enter this trade, I could probably enter this trade and take it to the bottom of this box here. Right? Remember, we set this here, and in here, I want to go ahead and give you a signal here. And I know I said I was going to do that, but while I'm thinking about it here and don't want to come back to it, no, I don't want to forget. Here we go here. We are looking at EuroCAD here, EP for a buy at one, EP for a buy at 1.62568. 1.62568, 1.62568, and we're going to do a TP of 1. I'm sorry, that's not 1.65. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me make sure I gave you this right. 1.62568. Yeah, 1.62568 for EP. And TP here is going to be 1.63144. 1.63144. That's going to be a signal there for a buy for Euro CAD. So once again, to recap this, so how can I recognize, or how can I use structure as a partner for me? The first thing, you have to pay attention to current price and past price. Current price and past price. Current price and past price. We're having activity on Bitcoin. Current price and past price. So here's current price here. Past price closed at the bottom of this box and also at this resistance line. So I know, as a responsible trader, that I cannot get in here until price not only breaks this line, but breaks this line, because this is a significant line of structure, because that's a line of price rejection. But not only does it have to break this line And when I'm thinking about getting into a trade, I have to go back to the order of operation and ask the question, do I have volume? Do I have space? Now, if price is arriving here, chances are I have volume. But do I have space? No, I don't. So my entry is going to be beyond this next line of structure. In this case, the bottom of the supply box and the top of the supply box. Hence is the reason why we just gave you the signal we did. And I'm using structure. Structure is saying, hey, you might have it clear, but let's not try to take it past here. I want to at least do what? I want to at least get here, and I want to decide of one or two things. A, I'm going to put a TP here, take profit, or I may use a trailer stop here because my momentum is so strong that it may break through this level of structure. And nothing else, let's say I'm up 40 pips here, I decide to take a 10 pip trailer stop. So if price pulls back 10 pips, I've secured 30. I've guaranteed 30 pips. But when price arrives here, I want to have a distinctive resolve. I'm going to either enter a stop loss, a take profit, or a trailer stop at this point. A take profit or a trailer stop at this point. Now, let's say we decided that, hey, I think price is coming back the other way. Now, nothing indicates that, but let's just talk about the scenario. So then now I'm thinking about, well, what's my next level of structure? Well, obviously, it's yesterday's high, right? But then I want to look at this area of price rejection. Price comes here, price comes back. So I want to look at this area of price rejection. Is this an entry here? No, because I have another form of structure here. Okay? I have another area of price rejection here, or another form of structure. So there's not room here for me to enter. Then in this case, I also have a line of structure marking consolidation here. Remember this, we talked about this before. This is a strong level of structure here. So I'll mark this line and look how it comes through. Then I have yesterday's low, and then I'm right below that. That's going to be my entry. And then, of course, there's elements of rise in volume on the downward movement that I'm taking in consideration with as well. But your main your partner in all of this, your best partner. And look, obviously I need to know where price is, right? I need to know where price is on this. I need to know that. But beyond price, structure is the thing. Because, ladies and gentlemen, let's do hit on this on a naked chart. Okay? And can I do the same thing on a naked chart with no indicators? Yes, I can. Make these candles a little bigger. Yes, I can do the same thing. Hold on, let me put this on the floor. So on the naked chart, I wanna first establish my trading zone by identifying structure, the highest point where price and the lowest point here. What's that sound like? What's that sound like? I want to identify my highest point and my lowest point.
Trading zone.
Yeah, I know, but what other chart did we do this with? What other platform?
Pocket options.
Our pocket options. Yes. Very good. Very good. Who said that?
Christy.
Did you get that? Kim, did we send her that new gift I did the other day? Did I send it to her?
Your question again?
The new gift, the thing I showed you that we made the other day.
Did you send it to who?
Did I send it to anybody? I don't think I have. Right?
No.
All right. Send that to Christy. She got a gift tonight.
Thank you. You spoke like, okay. All right. I'll make sure I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Okay. All right. So we identify the highest point, lowest point here. And then I started looking for flat bottoms, flat tops. Flat bottoms, flat tops. Ladies and gentlemen, all I'm doing is looking at structure. Flat bottoms. See, we got some flat tops. Flat tops up here. Any flat tops? No. Let's see. Any flat, and remember, we are only looking for flat bottoms and bullish candles. That's these green outline candles, right? And we're looking at flat tops or the white candles or the bearish candles. Okay? Flat tops mean nothing to us on the bullish candle. Flat bottoms mean nothing to us on the bearish candles. So we're looking for flat bottoms on the bullish, flat tops on the bearish. Okay? So once I run out of that, then I start marking where the money is. And I could do this one of two ways. I could go to the line chart here, and I could, all these sharp areas, I could go ahead and put a line on all these sharp areas of price rejection. I could do that. Now, some of the people here looking out here are going to be coming on YouTube and looking at this, and they're talking about, oh man, this is really like an elementary thing. Hey, baby, let me tell you something. I know many people who've gotten rich by just doing this. They don't know nothing else, but they get rich by just doing this. Sometimes it's just simple things. Sometimes it's just simple. All right. So now I have clear areas in which I have marked areas of price rejection that I may get in to. All right. I could even go ahead and mark this area here because price went up, rejected. So I could go ahead and mark this if I wanted to. And clearly this is an upper movement here. Price comes here, rejects here. If price comes through here, is this an entry from here to here? No, because it's not 10 pips. So I see this significant area of rejection here, right? And I see this area of rejection. I could go ahead and I can mark this if I want. Yeah. And is this 10 pips? It is 10 pips here. So I could take an entry. Now, this is not the most ideal chart because there's a lot of structure here in this. Let's go back to Kip. All right. But could I take from here to here? Yeah. All right. So I price, I've marked areas in which I could get in here. I don't need I really don't need anything else other than identifying structure. Let's take a look at another. Let's look at GBP USD. Clear out these candles. Okay. And again, I do the same thing all the time. Locate lowest point of price and the highest point right here. Here's my trading zone right here. If I want to go ahead and mark consolidation, I can do that too. Boom. I can do it like I can do it just like that. Right? And then if I want to, and underneath here, I can look for flat bottoms and flat tops. Flat bottoms and flat tops. Flat bottoms and flat tops. If I don't have any of that, then I'm going to look where's the money? Where's the money? Here's some money right here. Here's money right here. We'll mark this. And then here's a flat bottom right here. Boom. Price comes through here. I can take price all the way down here. Oh, shit. That was on the 1 hour. Sorry about that. I always forget to change that. So price enters this zone here. I could take it all the way down to here. And I didn't need any support resistance lines. I didn't need any supply or demand boxes. I didn't need any of that. I'm just using structure to help me when price enters a particular zone. If you didn't know anything but this could change your life in a year. If you didn't know anything else but this could change your life in a year. In a year. Just following the savings account program, 20 pips a day, Monday through Thursday. Boom, 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 boom. And your life would change in a year. But here's the psychology of structure. Structure in your trading, meaning your practices, and structure how you actually trade. When I say practices, I'm going to do X amount of trades I'm going to do X amount of trades per day. I'm going to trade from this time to this time. I'm going to do my own personal market review. And then the structure in trading itself. Am I going to wait for price to get into my zone? Am I going to come up into a line of structure? If I'm not sure if price is going to exceed that line of structure, I'm going to at minimum use a trailing stop. You have, and when it comes in trading, you have to just stay in the boundary. You have to just stay in the boundary.